Okay, so I just wanted to make this quick video because I saw Daniel with this course. He was kind of using this. He was using JavaScript to add elements to HTML, and the way he was doing it, he was using like append child. I mean, it was so complex. I was like, no, there is much easier way to do this. All right, much easier way. Now, first things first, right? This will be React type of style coding. Now, I would highly encourage you to, well, first of all, what are we trying to accomplish? We're trying to create a div, right? In fact, you don't even need div in here. You can just create div inside the JavaScript, right? Okay, so here is the way I did it without the HTML. So this is 100% JavaScript adding into the HTML, right? I still don't like this code because it's a bit messy. You see, you have to create a variable, test, document, create element, then set attribute, blah, blah, blah. All right. Then we have an array. We iterate through array, and then every iteration we add something into the HTML. All right. So I'll show you exactly step by step how to do it. And I'm gonna have a link in description below. Please go and watch this. So this is Java Nuggets by Code Addict, John Smilga, and he has a very good course on React. Okay, it's so good. This one, right? Fundamentals, and then you do projects as well, React projects. So it's 20 hours. It's worth it. Okay. Now I will also. A lot of people are using Free Code Camp. I'll be honest with you, their course, this course here is not very good. Well, like Bootstrap is good, everything is good except for React. It's very out of date. They're using classes. Classes are, and they're using like things like component deep mount. It's so confusing and it's so out of date. Class components are no longer used since like 2019, I believe, right? So don't do this course here. And this one is total waste of your time. Total waste of your time. It's so confusing, you won't understand what the hell is going on. I ended up trying to learn it by heart, right? John Smilga will go through Redux as well with you, right? Anyway, let's start from the beginning, okay? So the first thing we need to do is we need to create. Now you can do it in here, right? Like this, ID equals test, right? And then you close the div. You can do it this way, or you can do like this: const test equals document create element. We call this div, right? Now when you test, then we need, I think, add attribute. It's called set attribute ID, and then the name will be test, okay? Now we need to append this to our body. So we need document, body, append, and then test, okay? So now this thing is in the body, okay? Now we're gonna do JavaScript. Okay? So let's do const array, all right? Whoopsie. Okay, so we're gonna do name, let's say John. We're gonna do status, let's say, I don't know, on anything you want, okay, in here. We do another one, name, Mary, status, logging on. So now the idea is to put this into HTML, right? So we need to, there's an error in here. Okay, so const array HTML. Okay, you can call it anything you want, bananas, whatever you want. Now we need to array map value. So now we're gonna destructure. So we need name and we need status. If you don't know how to destructure, you need to go and learn how to do that because it's very, very time efficient to destructure. Again, you can go into JavaScript Nuggets by John Smilga, and he teaches you how to destructure. It's very, very important that you learn how to destructure because it saves too much time for you to waste it, you know. Okay, now we need to return. We do template literal, I think it's called. It's basically like the string in which you can insert the variables. Now it's very important that you return a single div. I didn't test it without the div, but I know in React it's like a rule. It has to be a single div, otherwise the system can get confused. So I would recommend doing the same thing, right? Always return a single div, right? And inside this div, we're gonna put in our elements, okay? So let's do horizontal line so we can separate them. And then let's do paragraph, close paragraph. We call it name. And let's do this thing here and put name. Now, if you do not want to do structuring, you can do like this value dot name. It will also do the same thing. And this is gonna be status, okay? Like this, and this is status. Okay, and now we need to document query selector. We're gonna be using test as an ID, right? To target it. Inner HTML equals to array HTML. Now you have to also understand that when you are um, when you're using inner HTML attribute and you're putting an array into it, it will display. So I'll give an example. Let's say name 2. You see, if we simply add the array in here, it will display it separated by commas. You see? So we're taking advantage of this and we're just displaying array HTML. Now, the issue in here is that we have the comma. We don't want it, right? So the way to get rid of it is join like this, and then it will get rid of the commas. And that's it. It's done now. Okay? So if you get confused by the structuring, you can do like this as well. Value.name. So you can call this, it doesn't have to be value. You can call this, I don't know, X, right? And this will be X.name then. X, whoops, what am I doing? So then it's going to be X.status. It's just that I prefer through destructuring. It's just so much easier. All right. So this is iteration method. If you just want to like a chunk of HTML through JavaScript, so let's do div ID. Let's do test2, right? Div const test2. Let's target it. So test2. Actually, you don't even need this, honestly. Look, dot inner HTML equals template literal, and off you go, right? Again, try to return a single div. Otherwise, the system might get confused. H1, oh my God. P, it is working. And whatever you want in here, I don't know, H3. This is h3. But can you see how like it's much easier that it's like adding it, you know? Because I see a lot of people, they're using things like, append child, all that mumbo jumbo. Dude, just use inner HTML and that's it. You can just do your HTML literally inside the JavaScript. Okay? And that's it. It's much easier. Take care.